Hello and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your daily reading for the 1st of August, the Knight of Cups. Time to slow it down a little bit, follow your intuition. If you can be around or near water, that might actually be a good thing to come through. But we also have a sense that you are intuitively making a choice or decision here. Follow your heart with this one because, interestingly, there's some relationship stuff coming up with the Seven of Wands. There's things coming up around, relationships where you might have to talk through something. We have Venus squaring Saturn at this moment. Venus is making way into Cancer, so it might be this Knight of Cups moving into a threshold and feeling a little bit more emotionally sensitive, but at the same time, it is this sense that there is something that's kind of like a barrier or a block between you and someone else, that sometimes it's these unspoken little things that just creep up in relationships, and it feels like you are very much making a choice or decision here that wants to bring some kind of clarity. It could also be that there is something somebody says that hurts you. That can come through with the Ace of Swords and the Three of Swords. It's like, oh, or someone's choice and decision is somehow brings up a wound. Our wounds are coming up with this. So there's a very strong Chiron energy. There's choices around wounds, clarity coming in around wounds, and really a sense of mobilizing, making the right choices and decisions around something that's coming up that is wounding you at this moment in time. It's interesting, that Knight of Cups, because that Knight of Cups is so beautifully hopeful about following his heart, following a dream, and then comes across this like, oh my gosh, what is this energy? The King of Swords, the Lovers, the Three of Swords, the Ace of Swords. So I feel like, there could be a bit of conflict in relationships or in an area of your life in terms of a choice or decision that needs to be made and clarity that's coming in around that. And it feels like mostly that something needs to be addressed, that an issue is coming up to be cleared. It's not, it really could be a little bit of a storm that comes up around it, but it could be one of those short-lived storms that, I don't want to say storm in a teacup because that feels like it diminishes it, because it just could be something that comes up and suddenly you're having this quite strong reaction to something or someone. But then we move from the stormy energy of the Three of Swords into the clarity of the Ace of Swords, where it's clear blue skies. So it feels like there's some kind of resolution of an issue that is making you or has made you upset in some way, through either a shift of perspective or potentially a conversation that could shift something that's coming in here. And it feels very much like, these energy of the Seven of Wands is having your defenses up. That's something around this as well. So so with Venus moving into Cancer, we might feel more like, because it's making that square to Saturn, boundaries around relationships might become a challenge or an issue. Boundaries around money, or boundaries around your self-worth, love language, boundaries around a friend. That is something that could come through, and that's what it feels like. Something comes up and it's like, well, it could kind of be a bit ouch, like, oh, okay, it's not making me feel good in any way, or it's a bit of a challenge in some way, or I need to kind of defend myself or just protect myself in some way with this. But at the same time, it feels like it's, like I said, it's we move through the elements of it. We move through the storm of it reasonably quickly. So you can move on from this, whatever this is. And you do have the opportunity to make a very clear choice and decision, or someone's making a clear choice and decision here. And interestingly, I like that Knight of Cups there, because that is about following your heart. I mean, your heart is giving you a very strong message here with the Knight of Cups. And it's about potentially feeling like you trusting your intuition or trusting your heart and taking some kind of action or following a path but the path will take you not necessarily down the intuitive road or the heartfelt road, but into more of a let's talk about it, let's make some very rational choices and decision. We're moving into the element of air, not into the element of water. So it feels very much like I just get this sense that this Knight of Cups is so hopeful about crossing that river and moving into new territory, and then he comes across a whole heap of swords, a choice, decision, a wound, and then clarity around that wound, and he's just like, whoa, okay, I wasn't expecting that. So it may be that it's just something unexpected that comes through that might come in a form of communication or some kind of new way of understanding a situation can come in. And I just feel like there's something that you're going to have to look at here with this. It can get resolved, and it can be this sense of making a decision around how mentally you're going to respond, what sort of thoughts or choices you're going to make around this, around thinking you're moving into this energy or moving forward into an energy and it's something different to what you're expecting. And it could even pose some challenges around with that Three of Swords. So there is a little bit of a challenge around with this energy, but I think we just need to move through it. And there also could be some amazing insights as to that are healing insights, or insights as into what needs to be healed within this situation. So there is always a silver lining to if something comes up like this Three of Swords, and it's coming up, it's the three swords that pierce the heart. So it's the thoughts that are actually the thing that is hurting somebody here, not necessarily the heart. This heart and the intuition with the Knight of Cups is moving forward and comes into this totally different realm, and the Three of Swords comes up to the elements to be cleared. So something's coming up and out to be cleared out, and it just feels like you might have to shift and change direction. This Knight of Cups thinks it's going somewhere, and the Seven of Wands is like reassessing how you're going about something or what's really motivating you here, because I feel like something else draws you in a slightly different direction, or something else grabs your attention or takes your attention, but you weren't expecting to go down that path today. But for whatever reason, at the end of it, you might actually feel like, okay, I needed to do that just for the sake of seeing this really clearly and to be able to somehow clear this up and out. So that is the reading for the 1st of August. It really feels like there is opportunities for healing in relationships and overcoming some kind of challenge within a relationship or a situation in your life. So that's the reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments, and take care.